Meanwhile, new insight this morning into Biden family's business dealings. New emails reveal a 2014 exchange between Hunter Biden and a family friend, Jeff Cooper. The pair reportedly outlined a plan to start a consultancy and law firm, with Joe Biden joining that firm after leaving office in 2016. My next guest is the Government Accountability Institute president, Peter Schweizer. He has his own insight into these emails. Peter, you have the laptop that we've been talking about. First, give us your reaction to Hunter trying to set up deals for Joe as a consultant while Joe is a sitting VP.
Well, it fits a pattern, Maria. I mean, people want to create this impression that sort of there's Hunter Biden's business affairs and Joe Biden's political career and his business affairs. The fact of the matter is they're blurred. And this is another example of it. There are memos in the emails where Hunter Biden and his business partners are putting together memos for the then Vice President Joe Biden saying, here's your future earnings potential. Here's where you should look for money. We certainly know about the 10% for the big guys that came to CEFC. So what people have to understand is that Hunter Biden's business affairs are not isolated from Joe Biden's. There's a big blur there, and this latest revelation simply indicates that is the case.
Yeah, I want to get back to something you and I discussed on Sunday, and you have the laptop in your possession, and you and your team have been mining through the laptop, and you learned two important things from the emails that you have been able to read through. One of them has to do with the Secret Service. Tell me about Hunter Biden and the Secret Service revelations while he's traveling the world.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. So Hunter Biden, as we've reported before, secured a couple of major deals in China in 2013 and early 2014. In the middle of 2014, he does something very unusual. He tells the Secret Service, I don't want protection. I do not want Secret Service agents traveling with me. And the Secret Service has confirmed that's the case. What's interesting, though, Maria, is when you look through the emails, there is still plenty of correspondence with the Secret Service as it relates to travel in Europe and domestically in the United States. The one place that we know that he traveled multiple times but does not communicate with the Secret Service is on trips to China. And so it begs the question, it would seem to me, that China would be one of the places you would want Secret Service protection because of all the concerns about, surveillance and intelligence and all that kind of stuff. It's really quite interesting, and there's no clear answer. The Bidens haven't given a clear answer. Why specifically did he not want Secret Service protection when he was traveling to China?
So Hunter Biden says, sure, I want Secret Service to be traveling with me throughout the United States and in Europe, but he doesn't want Secret Service following him around in China. To me, that sounds wildly dangerous. Did the Secret Service do that? Did they not follow him around in China? You've got his father is a sitting vice president, and the Secret Service listens to him and doesn't follow him around in China?
Yeah, it's interesting. I had that question. I mean, can you actually do this? I wonder, can you actually tell the Secret Service to go away? And yes, you can. And the Secret Service is certainly not happy about it, but they will honor that request. Obviously, it has to be from an adult family member. A child certainly couldn't request it, but they did honor it. And again, the emails indicate on trips to Europe, trips in the United States, there was communication with the Secret Service. Logistics were worked out on trips. But it was related to China and some of the other international travel. He was clearly taking business trips, according to the email, to those countries with no Secret Service protection at all.
That is wildly dangerous, irresponsible, a national security risk. I know that the Secret Service also confirmed this in a testimony to Ron Johnson's committee. We're going to talk with Senator Johnson coming up in the show. Real quick, the other important piece of information you learned from these emails was that Joe Biden was benefiting from Hunter Biden's business directly. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the direct benefit comes in the form of Hunter Biden is actually paying some of Joe Biden's bills while he's vice president of the United States. And they're having conversations about all sorts of things, including Joe's mortgage, But when you look at it, we've been able to find so far tens of thousands of dollars in bills during his tenure as vice president of the United States, where Hunter Biden was actually paying those bills, according to the emails. And I think that number will probably climb. But, let's be clear. Family members can give politicians gifts at Christmas. They can buy them a pair of shoes. But certainly they cannot be subsidizing their lifestyle, especially if those family members are running businesses that rely on access to the government. So this is problematic, Maria, on multiple levels. And again, as an indication, the stuff involving Hunter Biden, his laptop and his business dealings, they're not just about Hunter Biden. They are about Joe Biden. He is an integral part of this story.
It's a really important point that you make, and it brings me to another issue that I've been raising recently, and that is, how is it possible that you go and you're a member of Congress or the Senate, and you're there for you're there for decades on a salary of $150,000 a year, $175,000 a year, and yet 20 years later, you've got a net worth in the tens of millions of dollars. That's the case for Joe Biden. That's the case for Nancy Pelosi. That's the case for Dianne Feinstein. How do they become so wealthy, tens of millions of dollars on a salary of $150,000 a year, being a member of Congress? That's why we were talking about Paul Pelosi buying all those technology stocks, the same companies that Nancy Pelosi is said to be regulating. They're making all this money on it. I don't know if it's illegal, but it certainly sounds immoral to me.
Oh, absolutely, Maria. I call it offshoring corruption. And by offshoring, I mean the politician themselves doesn't do it, but they set up a family member. In the case of Nancy Pelosi's stock trades, and others have made it that do the same thing, they will say, well, that's my husband's stock account. I didn't make those trades. Well, come on. You don't have conversations. You don't have any discussions with your spouse. The bottom line is that the political class in Washington, Republicans and Democrats, self-enrich. They're creative about it, and we need them to stop because it's undermining and corroding our representative government.
Yeah, and by the way, just in that vein, the Wall Street Journal this morning is reporting that Joe Biden's family does not appear to be the only one benefiting from the Biden presidency. The Wall Street Journal reporting that the brother of a senior aide to the president is seeing his business thrive all of a sudden. Jeff Verchetti's lobbying firm has brought in over $1.6 million in fees this year. That is quadruple the amount he collected by the same time last year, Peter.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. This is a replay of what the Podestas did in the Obama administration. Remember, John Podesta was counsel to the president, as Verschetti is in the Biden administration. And the brother, then it was Tony Podesta, cashed in. And what happened with the Podestas, and I think is going to happen here, Maria, not only cashing in, but the client base expands. In the case of Podesta, he started taking on Russian and Chinese clients that he didn't have before. And I imagine we're going to see the same thing with Verschetti. It's this globalized corruption.
That is exactly right. Meanwhile, you've got President Trump's ally, Tom Barrack, being charged with acting as an agent for the United Arab Emirates. I mean, the hypocrisy. It's disgusting. Peter, it's great to see you, and we so appreciate your reporting on all of this. We will keep reporting and keep a spotlight on it. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Maria.